おー、こんばんは。こんばんは。こんばんは。すいません、大きい声出してすいませんでした。こんばんは。大変失礼いたしました。プロジェクトブラ所属リーシュナルジョです。こんばんは。やってまいりました。本日は配信ソロでございます。30分も遅らせてしまって申し訳ございません。すいません、失礼いたしました。音量で隠したところ申し訳ございません。大変失礼いたしました。本当に申し訳ございません。慰謝料は払います慰謝料は払います。ということで、ちょっと待ってくださいねコメント欄が見えるようにこれでこうして、はい、こうですね。これ邪魔。もうさっきまで12時間配信の準備をしておりまして、ちょっと遅れてしまいました。ご飯を食べていなかったので、丸1日なので、美味しくちょっとお腹にね、栄養を入れさせていただいて、なんか頭使ったらどうしようって感じなので、このゲームが頭が動くようにご飯を食べさせていただきました。お時間ありがとうございました。いや、もうほんと急ピッチでね、最終日に向けて動いていますので、ということで、音量バランス等々大丈夫でしょうか。ちょっとこれ、音量バランス大丈夫ですか。ゲーム音って言ってもちょっとこれ今ね、あれだから、ガチャガチャ音だから判断しづらいかもしれないんですけども大丈夫ですかね。はーい、ということで、本日はですね、このザ・スタンディーパラブルという今結構流行っておりますね。いろんな方がやっておりますが、ナレーションに従ってもいいし従わなくてもいいという自由度満載のゲームらしいです。シュガーグライダーさんがね、数日前に配信をしていまして、これなんかシュガーグラ一押しゲームだったみたいで、とにかくやってくれということだったので、私今日やらせていただきたいなと思います。彼女はかなり逆張り女だと自負していますが逆張り女だと自負していたためにどんな感じだったか気になるんですけど、事前情報なしでプレイしてほしかったみたいなので、私何も見ずに今日挑んでおります。リリマネが逆張りかどうかと言われると別にバリですねリリマネはバリなんで、ちょっとどうなるかわかんないんだけど、まあちょっとその差をね、楽しみつつ、今日初の人もいるかもしれないんですけども、以前見たよっていう人はその差もちょっと楽しんでいただけたらなと思います。本当にね、事前情報がないのでどんな感じなんだろうっていう感じなんですけど。
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big
スタンリーは大き
building
なビ
where
ル
he
の会
was
社で従業員
employee
番号
number
427番として
427.
働いていました。リリモネと一緒だ
Employee
ね。
number 427's job was
至
simple.
って単純な
He
仕
sat
事。
at his desk in room
427の
427
デスクに
and
出
he
会い、
pushed
キーボードの
buttons
ボ
on
タンを
the
押すだけです。
keyboard. Orders came to him through
指
a
令は
monitor
机
on
の
his
モニターを
desk,
通してきました。
telling him what
どのボタン
buttons
をど
to
れくらいの
push,
長さを押せば
how
いいのか
long
教
to
えてくれる
push
の
them,
です。
and in what order. This is what employee
何ヶ月も何年もこの作業を
427
日々
did
繰り返してい
every
ました。
day, every month of every year. And although others
他
might
の
have
人たちにと
considered
って
it
は魂が引き
soul-eating,
裂かれるようだったかもし
Stanley
れません。
relished every moment
しかし
that
ス
the
タンリーは
orders
指令が入る
came
たび楽しんでいました。
as
こ
though
れ
he
で
had
この
been
仕事を
made
するために生まれてきたか
exactly
の
for
よう
this
に。
job. And Stanley was happy.
幸せだったんだ。 いいことだ
And
ね。
then one day, something very
そしてある日なんだか
peculiar
とて
happened.
も奇妙なことが起きたのです。そんなスタンリーを永遠に変えてしまうような何か
Something he
が、
would never
彼が
quite
決して忘れることがないであろう何かが。
He had been at his
7時間
desk
近
for
くデ
nearly
スクに
an
向かっ
hour
ていたの
when
に、
he
モニター
realized
から
that
一つ
not
も指令が来ていない
one
ことに気がつきました
single order
やばいじゃん。
had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up
彼
to
に指令を
give
出
him
す人も会議を開く
instructions,
人も挨拶
call
す
a
る人さえ
meeting,
誰もいま
or
せん。
even say hi. Never
は
in
い。
all his
入
years
社して
at
から
the
といつだって
company
こんな
had this
完
happened.
全な
This
孤立はありませんでし
complete
た。休みの日だったんじゃないの？
isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
明らかになんか変だ。
Shocked,
ショックで固まったスタンリーは
frozen
長いこと身動きが取
Stanley
れなくなっ
found
ていまし
himself
た。
unable to move for the longest time.
休
But
みだ
as
った
he
んじゃね
came
え
to
の？
his wits and regained his
ね、
senses,
緊
he
急
got
で
up
会
from
社
his
の電源を
desk
落とすんで、
and
今日休み
stepped
です
out
み
of
たい
his
な感
office.
じ。あ、急に自分のとこに視点を持ってこないでください。びっくりしちゃった今。ちょっと待ってくださいね。ちょっとモニターがさ、モニターがでかモニターがでかすぎて下が見えん。なにフルスクリーンでやればいいのか。あ、見えた。うわ、あれマウスの動きが速すぎて、下げよう。これでしょ。この427の人はスタンリーさんっていうんだね。スタンリーはここで座って待っていたんだけども、あれ指示が来ないぞっていう。ちょっともうちょっと下げよう。指示が来ないぞと。でもパソコンに何を入力していいのかわからない。誰もいないじゃないか。どうしていいんだ僕はという状況ですね。何も動かん。これもうちょっと下げることできないのかな。もうちょっと視野角を狭めればいいのかな。なんか違うような気がするね。カメラ感度かな。なんかわかんないね。みんな酔っちゃうね。僕も酔うよ、俺。カメラ感度ゼロって何？こんな感じでいいのかな。みんな酔っちゃう？大丈夫？酔わない？開かないね。もしもし。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
スタンリ
meeting
ーは
room.
会議室に
Perhaps
向
he
かう
had
ことにし
simply
まし
missed
た。
a memo.
おそらく彼は伝言を見落としているのかもしれません。開けろよ。
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5.
開けてくれ。
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
開けろ。こいつ鉛筆しか削ってないじゃん。今ならやりたい放題だな。誰もいないから。あ、なんか消しちゃったかな。消しちゃったかな。ごめんなさい。どこも開かないですね。 どこも開かないぞ。あっちは開いてるぞ。あ、本当に社員さんが一人もおりませんですわね。あっちから入れるんだ。うん。あっす。これね、閉じとかないと。本当にどこも開かないじゃん。なんで
？When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
左の方
left.
のドアに入りました。これじゃん。従わなくてもいいんだぜってことやね。左ってどっちだっけ？こっちか。どうしよう。やべて。おー！ああ、戻れなくなっちゃった。そんな、ここから分岐が始まってるってこと？やめてよ。会議室じゃないですか。
Yet there was not a single person here
ここにも
either.
誰一人としていません
Feeling
で
a
した。
wave of disbelief,
不信感の波が押し寄せる中、
Stanley
スタンリ
decided
ー
to
は
go
そこ
up
な
to
ら
his
の答えが見つかるかも
boss's
しれないと
office,
希望を
hoping he
抱
might
き、
find
上
an
の
answer
階にある
there.
上司のオフィスに行くことしました。あ、これはミーティングルーム。Do not enter without consulting without board manager。待って、操作方法わかんないんだけど。なるほど。でもジャンプできないんですよね。なんかスペースを押してても。ターゲット。和訳できないですけど。オルター。ダメです。コンスビルティブ。ホワイトボード。ダメですよ。ホワイトボード消しちゃ。じゃないですか、これ。ダメですよ。ホワイトボード消しちゃ。リップ。そういうことじゃなくて。あ、びっくりした。What is hot?What is what? プロフィット。ハテナはこっちのセリフなんだわ。英語ってだけで、あ、マジックで書こう。マジックで書こう。そしたら消えないよってこと？そりゃそうやな。特別なんか干渉できるわけじゃないんですか？なんかコップ持って投げるとかそういうことはできないみたいですね。なんでだよねえ。なんでだよ。ブロームクローゼット。いた。こっち開きかよ。
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
引き返していきました。なんかあるだろ。なんかあるんでしょ。
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
これ撮りたいんですけど、このなんか赤く光ってませんか？
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
急に喋るってこ
He
とは
wasn't
ね、
even doing anything.
急に喋ってくるってことは
At
何
least
か
if
が
there
あ
was
る。
something to
そ
interact
こに
with,
相互
he'd
作
be
用する何かがあれ
justified
ば
in
何らか
some
の話で
way.
正当化
As
さ
it
れる。
is,
それ
he's
も面白さと
literally
いう何
just
もしなく
standing
て。
there doing sweet FA.
従わないってことは何もしちゃ
Are
いけ
you
ない。
are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here,
え、
right?
何？
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
うん。
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was
物
my
気エンドが一番好きだ
favorite."
ったわ。
I hope your friends find this concerning.
こんばんは。
Stanley was fat and ugly and really,
なんか
really
めちゃくちゃ煽
stupid.
られてるん
He
ですけど。
probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
家族のコネ
That
で仕
or with
事。
drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to
Eh?
drugs and hookers.
なんかボロクソ言
Well,
われる
I've
んだけ
come
ど。
to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central
神
nervous
経系を
system
停止
and
し
you collapsed on the
キーボー
keyboard.
ドの上に崩れ落ち
Well,
た
in
の
a
です。
situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term
僕が死ん
sustainability
だと
of
思わ
your
れてるってことこれ。
species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
あ、結局なんだっていうの？僕散々煽られてしまいに死んでることにされたんだけど。これ以上何も喋らない？ナレーション。もう終わった？終わったのかな？一通り喋り終わったんですか？動くよ。なんでこれ赤く光ってるんだと思う？これが取りたいだけなのに、そういうアイテム収集とかできないってやつ。これなんで光ってるの？じゃあねえみんな教えて、これなんで光ってるの？俺なんなのこれは。これ
Ah, second player. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
もうこれ以上なんもない？なんもないね。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
なるほど、
office.
戻れないんだ、各セクションごとに。で、上に行くか下に行くかってことですね。開かない。あれ、ちょっと待って。ちょっといろいろ待ってもらっていいですか、皆さん。よいしょ。皆さんご存知の通りさ、僕パソコンがね、モニターが1個壊れてて、モニター1台で頑張ってるの。でモニター1台で頑張ってると何が起きるかっていうと、ゲーム起動すると何もいじれないわけ。だから、 コメントを見るために別のパソコンを開いててちょっと待ってて。よいしょ。ね、ノート PC が今電池が切れそうになっちゃってたので、これで大丈夫。いや、そうなのよ。はい。うわっ、ホラゲ怖くない？急に怖いんだけど。あ、しゃがめる。これはここどこなん？ファイアフォース。なんか地下かなこれ。あ、車。
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
あ、
He
戻れ。
considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired.
クビになるかもしれない。
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
こんばんは、こんば
All
んは。
because he believed everyone
いらっ
had
しゃいまし。
vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am
私
crazy.
これ気抜い
All
て
of my coworkers blinking mysteriously out
気
of
抜いてナレー
existence
ション
in a
読むのや
single
めたら
moment
ちょっと
for
ストー
no
リー上
reason
読
at
み切れ
all.
なくなっちゃうからちょっ
None
と
of it
真
made
剣に読ま
any
ないと。
logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make
企業
other
のことに
strange
気がつき始めました。
observations. For example, why couldn't
な
he
ぜ
see
下を向い
his
ても
feet
自分の
when
足
he
元
looked
が見えない
down?
のだろう。
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty
Oh
familiar.
my
Were they
God.
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too
Oh my
strange. This
God.
can't be real. And at
Whoa.
last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Oh.
He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a
これ
relief
夢なん
Stanley
だっ
felt
てね。
to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
これ
His
夢だったんだ。
co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself,
も
I
うすぐ目
suppose
が
I'll wake up
覚めるん
soon.
だろう。
I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while
な
I'm
るほど
still
なるほど。
lucid.
夢の中だから。
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float
おお、
above the
飛んだ。
ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
宇宙や
How
ん。
was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating
すべて
everything
を
that
肯
I'm
定する声
doing
が
and
聞こえ
thinking?
ているのだろうか。
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly
実
strange.
況している。
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about
声
how
を
it's
見ているのと
describing
彼は
my
思ったのです
thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it
と
all
ても奇妙
very
だなと
odd
思いつつ、
and
この
wondered
声
if
が
this
目の
voice
中で
spoke
全て
to
の
all
真理。
people in their
こ
dreams,
れは不思
the
議なも
truth
の
was that, of course,
真
this
実さ
was
はもちろ
not
んこれは
a
夢
dream.
ではないと
How
いう
could
こ
it
と
be?
でした。
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing
難
that
しい
if
難しい。
he's
な
asleep,
な
he doesn't
何を
have
言
to
って
take
るんだい。
responsibility for his
難しくて理解できないんだけど。
Stanley is as awake right
人生の
now
中で一番
as
目が
he's
覚めてい
ever
る状
been in
態。
his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these
その
words
声を
was
聞い
quite
て
a
スタンリー
shock
はかなりショッ
to
クで
Stanley.
した。どういう意味どういう
After
意味
all, he knew for certain beyond a
夢
doubt
だ。
that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he
何？
was
どういう
in
こと？
control. That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently.
彼自身の目を
And he
覚まさせ
invited
るように
himself
誘
to
いま
wake
した。
up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket
お、
on his
夢
skin,
落ち？
the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake
目を
up.
覚まさせて彼は心に思いました。
I'm through with this
この
dream.
夢はもうおしまい。
I
もう終わ
wish
り
it
に
to
し
be
てくれ。
over. Let me go back
仕
to
事に
my
戻らせ
job.
てボタンを押し続
Let
け
me
てくれ。お
continue
願いだそれ
pushing
だ
the
けでいいから。
buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife
ご
and
結婚
my
なさってる
job.
んですね。
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
みんなもこういうことある？夢の中で夢から出てこれなくなっちゃいそうな展開みたいな。I am wow.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley.
ダメでした。夢から覚めません。
Please, just someone tell me I am real.
赤い赤い赤い赤い。画面が赤いよ。俺は誰なんだ。俺は誰なんだ。俺。これはマリエラという名の女の物語。マリエラはいつもと同じように起きました。彼女は身支度とね、歩いて職場へ向かいました。あ、しかし死んでもうた。死んでもうた。
who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
死んでもたけど。
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
狂って死んじゃった。
Crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. 死んでるのに狂ってるの分かるのすごい確かに。 Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
ひど。あ、終わっちゃった。はい、ということでね、今日は死んで終わったということでございましたけれども、皆さんいかがだったでしょうか。で、単純に気が狂ってしまったということでございますね。で、死に戻りしてますね、もうこれ。もう一回やれと。じゃあいいよ。じゃあ、ガンガンやっていきましょう。分岐ゲーってことですね。了解しました。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
ガンガン行きますよ、じゃ
あ。Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
もうさっきと全然またね、違う道。
Yeah, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
やばい、なんか何も考えずにガンガン進んだから、今なんかいろいろナレーション読んでなかったや。何ここ
？Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
設計図みたいな？工場。キーがないと入れないね。でも本当に誰もいないんですのね。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
もしかしたら私たち出花をくじかれたかもしれない。私はあなたの敵じゃないです。本当に違うんです。他人を信用するのは難しいと思いますが、この物語はずっとあなたのものだったのです。スターリー、あなたが忘れてしまった人がいるのです。一人で全てを決めようとしないで。私は私のために、彼女のためなのです。
This is it, Stanley.
自分
Your
自身を取り
chance to
戻すチャン
redeem
ス。
yourself, to put your work aside,
彼
to
女
let
をあなた
her
の人
back
生
into
に。
your life.
彼女って誰？
She's been waiting.
彼女って誰？急にせいちゃった。彼女が誰かわかんなすぎて急にせいちゃった。真っ暗なのけど。助けて。真っ暗なのけど入っていいのかしら。
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
電話。
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
お前誰だ？
This is a very sad story about the
ス
death
タンリー
of
とい
a
う名の
man
男の
named
死について語
Stanley.
った。俺は死んどるんか。おはようございます。従業員番号427。
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
F を押してください。助けて。助けて。ねえ。B カップぐらいかな。これ B。C。B ぐらいか。助けてねえ。押さなきゃいけない？
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
テレビを見るために Z を押してください。
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the
ビルの
building
中によって
had
突然
suddenly
地
vanished
球上から
off the
姿を
face
消
of
して
the
いたのです。
earth. The thought
そう思うと彼は
excited
ひ
him
どく興奮
terribly.
しました。怖いんだけど。
So he went further. He imagined that he
彼は
came
さらに
to
2つ
two
のドアにおい
open
てその
doors
どれ
and
で
that he
きる
could
と
go
想像
through
しました。
either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
何をさせられてるの私これ。
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again.
出せ
again and again,
出してくれよ。
over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path.
ゲームだじてよ。
Perhaps if he played just one
もう
more
一回だけ
time.
プレイしたのなら。あなたの妻に会うた R を押してください。
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
なんなん
In reality, all he's doing is pushing
なん
the
なの
same
よ。
buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The
ねえ、
more he
だっ
forgets
て
which life is the real one.
ここからだっつってよ。
And I'm trying to tell him this.
私は彼
That
に
in
こう
this
言いたいの
world
で
he
す。
can never be
彼は
anything
観察者
but
以外
an
の何者にもなれ
observer.
ない
That
の
as
だと。
long as he
そ
remains
の彼
here,
彼は
he's
自分をゆ
slowly
っくり
killing
殺しているの
himself.
だと。
But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to
ボ
push
タン
a
を押すように
button,
求めても
do
してはい
not
けません
do
よ。
it.
わかった、押さないです。押しません。押しませんけど。押しません。そうだよ、朝から出勤したくないもの。これは何なの？夢なの？夢を見ているの？彼は。それとも精神世界の中に入っていってしまったわけ？でももう何もここから先に出ることができないのけど。手がかりは？手がかりは？でもどこにも出ることができないよ。脱出できないね。うわ、押しちゃいそう。出勤しちゃいそう。出勤しちゃいそう。人生で思うことあったか？出勤しちゃいそうって。どうしよう。明日になっちゃうんけど。9以外のボタン全部押してやろうか。なんも起きない。なんも起きないよ。押すしかないよね、これ。押すしかないよね。押すんだからもう。
You see? Can he just not hear me?
あれ？
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
何も質問しないために T を押してください。何も質問しないために T を押してください。
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules.
私はルールを
I
作らず、
simply play
ス
to
タン
my
リーと同じよう
intended
に
purpose, the same as
本来の目
Stanley.
的のプレイ
We're
を
not
して
so different, I
そんなに
suppose.
違うわけじゃ
I'll
ないの
try
か。
once more to convey all
すべ
this
てを
to
彼に
him.
伝えよ
I'm
う。
compelled
伝えな
to.
くちゃ。
I must. Perhaps, well,
彼
maybe
は分
this
かって
time
くれ
he'll
るでしょ
see.
う。今度こそ。
Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
怖っ。怖すぎん。おい怖すぎん。 なんか今のところ怖いエンドしか見てないんだけど、怖すぎん。なんにゃんこれ。なんにゃんこれ。どういうゲーム？精神崩壊しそうなんだけど。
All of his co-workers were gone.
なんに
What
ゃ
could
ん。
it mean?
なんな
Stanley
の？
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
何が起きてるの？今のところ死なんだけど。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
でもとりあえずちょっと行ってみるね。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
ラウン
just
ジに
to
立ち寄
admire
りそ
it.
れを褒めたたえたかった。どこも開かない。どこも開かない。ここがラウンジ。
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room.
ここがラ
What
ウ
a
ンジなんですね。
gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
でも寄ったところで何も起きない。
Yes, really worth it being here in the room.
この部屋
A
にいる。
room so utterly captivating that even though all your
なん
co-workers
か
had
従うべきなの
mysteriously
か従わ
vanished,
ないべきなのか
here
わ
you
からな
sit
い。
looking at these chairs and some paintings.
わかんない
Really
よ。
worth it.
わかんないよ。
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on
執
creepy
着は
and
気味が悪い
reflected
ほど。
poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that
そ
this
の
is
せいで
why
みんなが出ていってしま
everyone
っただ
left.
ぞ。まあまあコーヒーでも飲もうや。
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
コーヒーでも飲もうや。これ進むべきかな。進んでみようか。
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get
最
back
初の
to
ドアの
business.
左側を選んだ。ここね。さっきはまっすぐ行ったんだ私。さっきまっすぐ行ったから行ったよね。じゃあこっち行こうか。
And so he detoured through the maintenance
倉庫
section,
だ。
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
ああほんとや。会議室やね。あれここもあれここ下がれるね。うわっちゃー。あれちょっと。
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the
何
office.
ここど
He
こ？
wanted to wander about and get even further
Nani?
off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here. It's
左。
left.
おいと。開かない。開かない。でもこのドアによってさ、何も音が出ないところとさ、音が出るドアがあるね。でもこっちしかないね。
Oh no, no, it's to the right. My mistake.
こんなやろ。なんだ。おっ。
No.
おいてめえこの野郎。
The right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly. Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
絶対こっちだね。
Now let's see. We went down right, left, down.
絶対こっちだね。
Right. Yep. Okay. Yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
おお、そっちかよ。
車だ。車は特になんも。ね、また怖いところ。なに？なに？なにこれ？なんなの？
No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
これ全部の部
Rather
屋。
than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
4に、あら。なんだ。なんなの一体。なんなの一体。
All of his co-workers were gone.
も
What could it mean?
うリゼロや
Stanley
んこんな
decided
ん。
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
死に戻りしすぎやん。一体何なの？何をさせられているの？どういうことなの？あれ？
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely
完
fresh.
全にフレッシュな
Everything
状
should be...
態。じゃ
Oh,
な
did
いけど。
something change?
変わってるよ。
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the
モニターの部屋に
monitors?
戻った時に。
Did you move the story
何もしてない
somewhere
けど。
or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an
開いてないよ。
adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
やだ、ちょっと全部開いたんですけど。こっち行けないわ。やだ、こんなちょっと分岐多すぎますけど。しかも閉じないぞ。でもなんかさっきと違うね。あれらがメイロじゃね？
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a
ここ
story
に
here
はストー
before.
リーがあったので
Do we
す。
just... Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
お
Okay,
お、戻
let's
って
give
き
it a
た。
shot. Why not?
もうちょっとやらしてや。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
なん？
Okay, yep, it's worse.
なくなっち
I
ゃっ
might be
た。
remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
ねえ、なくなっちゃっ
Why
た
don't we。go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
フェイント。ダメ？なくなっちゃったけど。コーヒーこぼれてる。これもともとこぼれてたっけ？ うん。
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
わあ。何なんか新しい。止まってる。行き止まり。何ここどこ？ここ何？これ何？
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
何？もう何？何なの？何ここ？
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
勝った？
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
何？
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this case is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
なんか線引いてある。
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure
なるほ
Line.
ど。
Just follow the line.
これに沿
How
っていき
simple
な
is
さい
that?
ということなんですね。あれでもここ空いてなかったよね。
No, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
やっぱりここはなくなっちゃったんだ。もうここさっき通れなかったけどね。あ、ソリティア。これソリティアだっけ？これなんだっけ？これなんだっけこれ。こっちさっき通れなかったけどね。今度みんなでソリティアやりたいね。
The line knows where the story is. It's over in
The
this
line.
direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Hang on. Did we head back there? Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
わっ、びっくりした。 ここどこやねん、ここどこやねん。ああ、戻ってきちゃってたよ戻ってきちゃってたよ。はい、行きましょう行きましょう。イエーイ。こっちですね。ここは通れませんね。はいはい。いや、ここはちょっと登れないですね。上にここは通れませんね。はい、こっち行きましょう。お数字がだいぶ若いですよ。数字がだいぶ若い。怖っ。壁は登れませんが、こちらに行きましょう。数字が若いぞ。006。社長じゃない？これ社長の方行くんじゃない？ 38。あれ、数字が戻っちゃった。 0B の 5B の 4B の 3B の1。うわっ。よいよいよいよいよいよいよい。いいのではこれなんか。近づいてる？何かに近づいてる？
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
死だ。戻ってきてない？
We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley parable, right? The story?
ストーリー
Is any of this ringing a bell?
死だって植物？
Stanley,
これ？
this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
OK。シダをよく観察しろ。細い葉っぱから太い葉っぱまでありますね。なるほど。綺麗だね。見たけど。よく見たけど。他に植物なかったよね。ヘイナレーション、よく見たよ。これは？これシダじゃない？これシダじゃない。お。
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh,
また見ちゃっ
I
た。
can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
何？開いた。こっちはダメなんですか？こっちはダメなんですか？437。
Now, Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go
これ永遠じゃ
wild.
ない永遠じゃない
Use
こ
your
れ永遠
imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
永遠
I'm
じゃない
ready for it.
永遠ですけどこれナレーションさナレーションさねえお
Oh, no, not you again.
来た
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
ザ・ム
Just
ライ
don't
ン
acknowledge it. We should be fine.
LINE には乗りたくないよねこれまた無限に入っちゃったあここ意味わかんないんだけどここ意味わかんなくないここ意味わかんなくないここ意味わかんなくないなんでなの何今のどういうことなのこっちなのお上には行けないですねお
Ah, a choice. We
新しい
get
と
to
ころ
make a
だ
decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
考える時
Just
間
walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
こっちがいいこっちに行かしてくれなんでこっちダメなんだなんか書いてある見たことない天井なんだこれなんだこれ
Oh, hold up, what's this?
混乱エンド
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
混乱エンド
It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what?
なん
Am
だこ
I
れ
just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why
ナ
don't
レ
I
ータ
get
ー
to
がいなくな
decide?
る
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't
Huh?
want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the time return. stopped?
何
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
びっくりした。えナレーターがいないぞ。あ、いつも出たらさ、ここでさ、なんかみたいなこと言うやん。言わんやん。お、いた。安心したよ。安心しましたよ。いなくなっちゃったかと思ったよ。さっきここでね。さっきここだったよね。でも、物語は進展しませんでした。さっきの空間は何だったの？一体。インプット。さっきのは一体何だったの？戻ってる。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
あんなにさ、なんかさ、私たちで一緒に頑張っていきましょうみたいな感じで友情が生まれてたのにさ、記憶がリセットされたと、記憶が残ってるのは僕だけじゃん。そんな悲しいよ。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
ね、
and
さっきまで
Stanley
な
knew
ん
it
か
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
さっきまであんなに仲良
The
くして
lounge
たの
was
に。
sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
ねえ。
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He
What did
wanted
that
to wander
know?
about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go,
絶対に入ってやる。
from here, it's, left.
絶対に入ってやる。
Oh, no, it's to the right, man.
最初に左に行くべきだった。で、また閉まるんやろ？
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on?
最初に左に行けばよかった。最初に左に行けばよかった。早く開けろ。
Left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
This
This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
これでなんかリスタートのルートに入るんだよね。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
なんじゃこのゲーム。
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should
キ
be...
リがない。
Oh, did something
何が
change?
ゴールなのかもよくわからん。
Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere?
何
Or...
がゴールなのこれ。
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one
シュ
who
ガ
wrote
グ
the
ラがどうい
story.
うエンドを
It
引い
was
てる
right
のか
here
も
just a
よくわ
minute
からん。
ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an
シュガ
adventure.
グラ見た。うわ
Come, Stanley. Let's find the
シュガグラ
story.
見たことないやつあった？でもさっき強制的に戻されちゃったんだよな。見始めてからずっと見たことない？そんなことありますか？
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to
やばい、
restart
ま
the
たリ
game
スタートされち
again?
ゃう。
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
待
Okay,
って
let's
く
give
だ
it a
さ
shot.
い。
Why not?
待って、あ、どうしよう。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
これやっぱりなんかリスタートのやつってこの道一本だけなのかな。で、
Okay,
ここで
yeah,
なんもない
it's
ですよ
worse.
と。
I
で
might
も
be
取れなくなっちゃ
remembering
っ
this
て。
wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
これまた同じなのかな。展開一緒なのかな。
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
これ
Do you know what?
結末一緒？
Since I've completely
こ
forgotten
の
what
分
we
岐
were
このパターン
supposed
し
to
かな
be
い。
doing, how about this? You win!
また勝ったもん。
Congratulations!
もう一回やろう。同じこと繰り返されてる気がする。
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
あれ？このゲームを再開する。このゲームをもう一度始める。あら？あら？ガチャでスタートのナレーション違う時もある。ほんと。なんか増えてる。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
ラウンジに来ます。
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
会議室に来た。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
上の階にある
office,
上司の
hoping
オ
he
フィス。
might find an answer there.
私はさっき下が
Coming
った
to a
上に行
staircase,
く。
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
初めて見た。マネーインザモーニング、マネーインザイブニング、マネーフォーブレックファーストモーニングクリスプ。これ社長ってこと？パンダだ。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
Manager, 人がいない。
indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
上司の後ろ
And
にある
so
キ
the
ーパッ
boss
ド。
had assigned it
上
an
司は特別番号
extra
を入れてる。
secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
なんだって？何も聞いてなかった。ごめん。何？もう一回言ってくれる？何も聞いてなかったです。ごめん。何？何？
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
何？
Trying to input anything on the
なんだっ
device
て？
was useless, since he could never possibly know that the
2845ね。
combination was
2845ってそれが何？それが
2845.
何？それがなんだって言ってんの？それがなんだっつってんだよ。これか
2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
あららら
input the
あららら
correct
あらら
code
ら
by
何
sheer luck.
あらららあ、おい
Amazing.
おいおい
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
わあ。下に下がる。こんなんやめられないんですけど。一生遊
Descending
べるやん。
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
奇妙な
It
感
was
じ
a。stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
本質
Why
を
did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
上にも戻れるけど、とりあえず。
Stanley walked
What?
straight ahead through the large door
Mind
that read
control system.
Mind Control Facility.
エスケープ。マインドコントロールし、エスケープ。エスケート。
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
なんか死ぬって言われたんだけど。
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. Nope, still on board with death.
死んじゃうのかな。
The lights rose on an enormous room
Ah.
packed with television screens.
ここさっきのところ
What
だ。
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
さっ
Did
き
he
僕はあ
have
っ
the
ちに。
strength to find out?
僕はさっきあっちにいたんですけど、だからネタバレうんぬんって言ってたのかな。
Now the monitors jump to life. Their true nature
先に
revealed.
ネタバレ見てたって
Each
こと
bore
か。
the number of an employee in the
ちょっと
building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a
さっき見た
screen.
けど、これさ
And
っき見ましたこれ。
one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
永久に監視されていたのです。自分の番号を探したいな。どこだろう。427、これだ。あれ、自分427だよね。ああ、ほんとだ。この部屋の数すごいな。ピレート。上昇できる。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's
誰かのコ
control
ントロ
all
ール
this
されていたので
time?
しょうか。
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
残る。
No. He refused to
彼
believe
は受け入れる
it.
こ
He
とができなかっ
couldn't
たのです。
accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
ここはマインドコントロール施設ってこと？お、マインドコントロールズアイドルアウェイティングインプット5。なんだなんだってんだ。
And when at last he found the source of the room's power,
さっきの5は
he knew
何
it
で
was
す？
his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
さっきの5は何なんですの？1234がどっかにあるんじゃないの？1234はないの？あったじゃん。1、2、3は登れない。ちょっと明かりつけて。あれ3かな？どうやって行くんだろう。あ、3だ。3。4はあれが4かな？あれどうやって行くんだろう。押したからといって何が起きるのかよくわかんないけど。 4は階段。でもこれ階段登れないんだよね。押せるってことはなんかあるってことだよね、多分。でも行けないんだけど。階段どこ？ほら、閉まってる。え？え？え？とりあえずあっち行くか。ちょっと主電源を切ってみる。
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. If this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
12345あまり意味ないやつですか？
Before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
あったほら
I'll tell
4
you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
12345ってあんま意味ないかなこれ。
That was merely in this instance of the story.
1234
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground. Everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
ボタンからボタンへ、スクリーンからスクリーンで走り回っちゃった。
Screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
もう何もできないの？
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom.
30秒。
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully?
あらもうちょっと
Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
もがいてますけど、もがいてるんですよこれ。
Second of your inevitable
どこ？
moment we fade in.
なに
Happily ever after.
終わっちゃった。終わっちゃった。じゃあね、次はね、オンじゃなくてオフをね。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
本当にあの部屋何もなかったんだろうか。やばい、まだ1時間半もやってる
When
んだけど。
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person
全部
here
従おう。
either.
全部この人に従
Feeling
い
a
ます。
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
上司の
Coming to a
オフィスに行き
staircase,
ました。
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
行きま
office.
した。こっちの部屋入ってないよね。これ上だよね。これでいいでしょう。長い長い。長いよ。早くして。変わんないぜ。押してからは出れない。じゃあ待ってみるか。マジでエンド違うんだ。エンドが無数すぎるのか何なのか思考が違いすぎるのか何なのか嘘、シュガグラ全然違ったんだね。これは視聴者も見てて飽きないわ。全部のエンド見るとかもう無理じゃない？違う人間がいて全部違うなんてら。ちなみにシュガグラはこれ乗った？ナレーション歌ってるよ。乗ってない？こんなに正規ルートっぽいのに乗ってないの？およそ42のエンディング？ 2人いてやってるのに42個かぶってないのも不思議だねもう11時か。これやってたらね、もう時間が無限にあっても足りないぐらいやり込んじゃうね。これどうしようかな。もうちょっとやるか、もうちょっとやらないか。まあ2時間としてあと30分、23時半までやろうかな。あと20分間ね。じゃあね、小粋な音楽でも流れてるので、ここで、告知タイムとでも行きましょうか。5月の27日土曜日ですね。土曜日に、12時間配信をやりたいと思っています。クラウドファンディングのね最終日なので、昼の12時から夜の0時まで、12時間耐久配信をやろうと思います。他にはね、コラボでお友達を呼んだりですとか、いろんなことをねやろうと思っておりますので、詳しくは、待機所をね用意してありますので、そちらをご覧いただければと思います。ツイッターの方でも告知しておりますので、ハッシュタグリリッシュ12時間配信でツイート拡散等々よろしくお願いいたします。変化がないのでおります。何だったんだこの時間。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
なんか落ち着いたニューエイジミュージックかかったんだけど、落ちて音楽かかり始めたんですけど。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened
僕があま
passageway.
りに早すぎたために次こそはね、オフアドビのソフトとかでさ、そのデータを保存しますか、はい、いいえ、キ
Stanley
ャン
walked
セルみ
straight
たいな。
ahead through the large door
め
that
ちゃく
read
ちゃあれ
Mind Control Facility.
難しくないですか。はい、いいえ、キャンセル一番難しい。あれ保存しますか、はい、いいえ、キャンセル。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
でもこんな感じ
Now
で
the
さ、
monitors jumped to life, their true
なんか
nature revealed. Each
何度も
bore
何
the
度もやり
number
直せたらいい
of
の
an
にね。
employee in the
気狂っ
building,
ちゃうか。
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
オフを押す、オフを押す。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It
本当に
couldn't
さっ
be
きの
true. Had
12345 と
Stanley
か
really
いい
been under
あれ
someone's
なのかな。
control all this time? Was this the only reason he
謎
was
解き
happy
要
with
素は
his
ないのか
boring
な。
job? That
本
his
当におちょくられてる
emotions
だ
had
けな
been
のかな。
manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't
どうなんだろ
accept
う。
it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life
なんかディズニー
utterly
ランドにいる気分になって
blind
き
to
た。
the
どんどん
world?
来た
But
来た
here
来た
was
来
the
た来た。
proof. The heart of the
因縁
operation.
の
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again.
どうなんの
Blackness and a rising chill of
不安で高まる
uncertainty.
恐怖心。
Was it over?
終わった
Yes. He had won.
彼は勝った
He
の
had
です。
defeated the
他を
machine.
破壊して誰かからの
Unshackled
支配を
himself
解
from
放しまし
someone
た。
else's command. Freedom
自由は
was
すぐ
mere
そばにあったの
moments
です。
away. And yet, even as the
さらに
immense
巨大
door
なドアが
slowly
ゆっくり
opened,
と開きま
Stanley
した。
reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let
あ
go.
世界だ。
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
綺麗やね。
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was
どこだっ
perhaps
たのこれ。
the only
これ
thing
何なの
worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
これ何だったのこれ何なのこれはもう戻れないのね。これマインクラフトマインクラフトマイクラ始まった
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
これは何
This was exactly the way, right now,
起こるべくして起
that
きたこと
things
だった
were
ので
meant
す。
to happen. And Stanley
スタンリーは幸せでした。これクリア今のハッピーエンドだったってことかな。ハッピーエンドだったか。まあ30分までもうちょっとあるからやろう。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
あ、なる
Perhaps
ほ
he
ど
had。simply missed a
ナレー
memo.
ターに従い続けると、ナレーターに従い続けると従い続けると自由になれるんだ。
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
なんなの
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
ディズニーランドじゃん。
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles
何これこれ何
and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
content.
delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable
ちゃんと見なさい。は
Ultra
い。
Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
これ何をさせられるんです？
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
お、何の？
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
ジャンプサーコー？
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
20時間分もあんの？
I could counter 30
ありすぎだよ。
trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
何？
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. They could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
真のスタンリー真のスタンリー。わ本当はこれだったよね。
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Nani?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Huh?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh. ゲームの思い出世界みたいな。やーべ、めっちゃおしっこ行きたい。めっちゃおしっこ行きたい。すごい、なんだここ。
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
ここは何です？ここは何なんです？どなたです？ん？ここ何？シュガグラー。
Here's another moving passage. This time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
異的だけど。異的だ。これ今さ、僕何をさせられてるの？早い？やっぱさ、僕さ、友達にもめちゃくちゃ言われるんだけどさ、トイレめっちゃ早いらしいのね。パンツァなんかおしっこの速度めちゃくちゃ速いみたいで。でもちゃんと洗ってるよ。でもさ、おしっこってさ、別にさ、蛇口ひねればさ、全部出るじゃん。別にバケツみたいなもんですよ。ジャバーって終わりやん。で、ここ何だったの？シリアスルーム。ごめん、なんだって？僕がいない間何を喋ってたの？これ何だったの？これ結局。
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back To have it all over again?
めっちゃ大事なこと話してた？聞いてなかったよ。ちょっとみんな教えて。なんだって？何の話してたの？
Wait, hang on.
あれここ開
I
いてた
don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
クラファン達成おめでとうって言ってた。本当になんだここ
Oh no. Oh God, no.
やだ、
Stanley, it's
ス
a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years.
レビュー
I can't
集
even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play
最後
this
まで
game
プレイ
to
する気
full
になれなかっ
completion.
た。
The narrator is
ナレーターが不快
obnoxious
で
and
面白くない。
unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more
苛立たしかった。
irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical
なんかさっ
insights
きと
that I
全
can't
然
even
ゲーム変わって
imagine
な
where
い
I'd
です
have
か
the
これ
room to stick them.
「全然なんか変なとこ来ちゃったかも」
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the
アイ
game
デア
is
は良かっ
good,
たが
for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not
積極臭い。
preachy, am I?
積
You
極
can
臭くな
tell
んか
me
な
if
い
I'm
よ。
preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the
だっ
game's
て君
dialogue
が言う
as
通り
being
に
rather
君の言う通りに
terse
動
to
いてたら
begin with.
さグッ
You
ドなエ
can't
ンド
know
を
how
迎える
much
わけじゃ
fluff
ん
I
か。
cut from the game to get it to feel
逆らっ
as
てたのは
light
う
an
ちら
area
の
as
い
it
たずら
well,
心
I
なのであっ
thought
て
it did.
君はいいやつだね。
Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to.
これ実際にあった
That
レビュー
marks
なの
on
か
my
な。
otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say?
これは
You constantly have to
あな
stop
たは
doing
しょっちゅう何かしよう
anything
とするこ
so
と
the
中断。
narrator can catch up with
何
his
をこれどうする
long-winded
のかね。
explanations of what's happening. I wish there was
ス
a
キップ
skip
ボタンが
button.
欲しい。
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley
Oh.
Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
あ、スキップボタン。
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards. The deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say,
the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by
じゃあみん
becoming
なも
it
見たね。
is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all
いやなんか
until the
この人
end
なんか
of
必死で
time,
喋ってるか
at
ら
which
なんか
time everything all at once.
喋
So
らせてあ
now
げ
you
よう。
see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday,
英語
here
全然
and
できな
there,
いから
forward and
さ
back, and never a moment before lunchtime.
なんかリスニング
Can't
の
be. It's the
リスニン
only
グの練
thing
習にな
there
りそう
is.
だね。
How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... The story and the choices, or what have
これループしてる？
you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah
意味のない英語。
blah blah blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 200.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are or were or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought, or rather, to all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite. You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
いくつかないんだ。おそらくガイドが必要になる。
あ、
じゃあもう見つけることすらままならないのか。
I've had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you?
じゃあやってみようかな今度。
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much. They said, first he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine what...
君に対して何も持ってないよ。はよ出してくれ。配信終われないんじゃ。
The end is never the end, 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 is never the
終わらない。終わらない。シド。外に出れました、皆さん。よかったよかった。まあね、ここでみんなで一緒に文明を築いていこうじゃありませんか。世界が一度なくなったということはもう一回作れるということなんですね。リリモネと一緒に新しい世界を作りましょう。とりあえずね、太陽がある方に向かって歩きましょうね。何もないよね。でも押せないよね。解放された。もう最後ナレーションの人のちょっとメンヘラに付き合わされてた感じあるよね。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
じゃあまあ2時間もやったわけですし、これで終わりにしましょうか。ね。お。え？永遠じゃんこんなの。これちなみにシュガグラは行った？シュガグラ行った？明らかに行ってない。どうだっけ？これは知らない。行ってなかった気する。じゃあまあちょっと付き合ってもらったし、行かないで終わった？見るか。
Oh good, you noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
まあね、せっかくなので。いきなりここなんだ。
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
これ何？予告？2が出ますよっていう予告の部屋？
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
なんだここ？え？え？ここ何？展示会社っぽいね。
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
みんな?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
みんな知ってる？地球に穴を開けて落ち続けたらどうなるか知ってる？
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look,
何この
Things
人
got
怒
a
ってん
little
の？
heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
正解はなんか地球の真ん中まで行くと無限に回転しちゃうんだって。体が無限に回転してそのまま反対側に出ることはできないんだって。それを言いたかっただけなのに。僕さ、誰かが喋ってるとさ、喋れなくなっちゃうのね。喫茶店とか騒がしいところにいると喋れなくなっちゃうの。まあ、ということで
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas.
やめにしたいんですけど、なかなかやめれないわね。じゃあちょっと名残惜しいんですけれども、ここら辺で今日は終わりにしたいと思います。ちょっとこれ普通に耐久したいな。じゃあ今日はこれで終わりにして、明日はね多分動画の投稿で土曜日が耐久配信となっております。今ね2人でね配信の準備とかをねいろいろやっていますから、ぜひぜひお楽しみにしていてください。でもこれマジで普通に個人的にやりたいんですけど、でもみんなが見てるところでやりたいという気持ちもあり、悩ましいところですね。ちなみにですが、ちなみにただいまクラウドファンディングはいくらになったのでしょうか。157% まで来てますね。達成してから 7% も増えてる。皆さんありがとうございます。土曜日で終わり土曜日で終わりになりますので、皆さんぜひぜひ最後まで応援のほどよろしくお願いいたします。終わりたくないね。終わりたくないけど終わりにしなきゃいけないわ。じゃあみんな土曜日ね、また生で入るのは土曜日なので土曜日にお会いしましょう。明日は動画では皆さんおつもりでした。間違えたわ。お釣りしゅー。この顔かわいいよね。こういう顔めちゃくちゃ好きなんだよね。